All right, guys. This is a very, very incredible time. And I can't help but celebrate what is taking place. Yesterday, I made a video on some of my channels stating that what would happen if Big T ended up winning. And guys, it was even mid election. It was mid election that it began to manifest. It's no coincidence that right after me making that video, that during the election, after me stating that this would positively affect crypto as we know it, if Big T uh, was selected, and it began to manifest right away, 10 o'clock last night, between the start of the election and the completion of the election. It wasn't even, it just looked like he was going to win. And well, we saw that in 2020 and everything, the tide changed, but didn't stop the market from responding accordingly. And today, Bitcoin hit like 3 all-time highs, one after the other. Now, what does that mean? Okay. Well, if you've been tracking, number one, my dream, that's a big deal because, I've been standing firm on this dream. And anytime, things take place such as this, you don't really know when God gives you insights, when God gives you clues, you don't really know how it's all going to play out. I expected it. And if you've been tracking this with me, I've expected it to go a different way. I expected the SEC to not even appeal. I figured that couldn't happen if this was going to work out, right? However, you know that even when things go the opposite direction, that you continue to trust. So there's a couple things on the table, guys, and I just want to be very, very clear here. If somebody, an amateur, is going to go out there and buy Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the one that hit the all-time high, I'm going to say that you failed to ask me some questions. Now, I have to tell you, I'm not a financial advisor, but I can tell you that, the information that I share is for informational and educational purposes. And obviously, make your own decisions, do your own research. However, there are people who tell their friends, that I invested in this stock and why I invested in it. And then that friend has the free capabilities to say, you know what? I'm going to invest in that stock. Why? Because my friend did. It's totally allowed to be done, right? And so that's what I'm doing here, guys. I'm sharing with you my journey. And I want you to know what's on the table here. This is an interesting post. This is from a trusted a trusted prophetic voice. He basically said that God showed me that the stock market is about to soar to record heights. I also saw an explosion in crypto is about to explode. Okay. Now, somebody's liking my video. Thanks, Eddie. So here's the deal, guys. What is taking place? All right. Well, the prophets are saying that this market explosion for the stock market specifically is short-lived. You have to hear me. You have to hear me. The stock market explosion is going to be short-lived. Crypto is going to soar. It may have a few bumps when the stock market crashes. However, it will become independent according to the prophetic words. And I believe that people will be fed by crypto. The US dollar is expected to crash. This isn't even just prophets anymore that are saying it. I have mentioned that BlackRock, the largest wealth management corporation in the world, corrupt as all get out too. However, they have stated on a Forbes article that it is imminent that the US dollar is on the verge of a what? Total collapse. Total collapse. They didn't just say, bumps in the road, or they specifically, like, you have to understand the largest wealth asset management company in the world is not going to say something like that flippantly. So here's the deal. What do we do? Number one, you know where I'm at. I'm in XRP all day long because I had that dream. And we didn't see anything. But you remember the day that I released that dream? Do you remember the day? I specifically said that on that day that I released that dream, that when I did this once before, when God told us to step out, move into the motorhome, to believe for this miracle house that he was supposed to get us, because we had been receiving these prophetic words for 2 years. I call it the tin can. I'm thankful for the motorhome, but it's like, it's a tin can in Florida in the summer heat. And so unless you park under an oak tree, you're gonna get hot no matter how much your air conditioners run. And so we found that out the hard way. We had traveled in the thing a lot, but we had never lived in it. And so what happened, though, at that time was the market, catch the word, the market went the opposite direction. We sold our house in a market that was we sold our house in a market that was already we sold our house for a cash offer, sight unseen, for 12% above asking price. Listen to this. We had these prophetic words that we were going to get a house for pennies on the dollar. So we sold this house, moved into the motorhome, and then guess what happened? Everything that you would not want to happen happened. The market went the wrong direction for a home buyer. It got crazier. It got worse. Prices were going through the roof. People were buying up houses, cash offer for even more than 12%. It was crazy. Sight unseen. No showings even. And it was a bloodbath. I mean, if you guys remember being in that time. And 7 months, 6 months until we found the house. 6 months into this market uptick, we ended up getting this house for $30,000 below asking price. And everybody who sees our house understands it's incredible. You don't find a house like this on this size property in the middle of town for that price. It was ridiculous. But God. And so he was faithful. We trusted the word. In spite of all odds, in spite of everything going the opposite direction of what you think would be optimal conditions for here we're at. I had the dream about XRP. I released the dream about XRP. Some people may not have believed me about the dream about XRP. That's fine. I've been giving recovery options. And now we've got that on the table. That was pretty cool. The screen just went black at 941. That's pretty cool. I like that because that's a sign for me. Those of you guys who follow me, you know what I'm talking about. All right, check this out. So next thing you know, I get involved with this Bitcoin trader. And this Bitcoin trader is now I get to plug into his strategy. He gets to trade Bitcoin, and he trades Bitcoin against altcoin pairs. And right now, Bitcoin is on the beginning of the bull run, and they're saying it's expected to hit 130 some thousand. It's currently like 75,000. Do the math. Just under double. Now that's projected. That's not guaranteed. And past performance is not indicative of future results, even though every 4 years it kind of does the same thing. Doesn't mean it's going to. However, but you add some fuel, some gasoline to the fire, like Big T getting elected and winning the election. Why is that fuel to the fire? Because this guy is the only crypto-friendly president. He's the only one that has said that BTC will be made in America. Kind of a foolish comment, but you know what he means, because BTC can't be made anyway. And but his point is like, we're going to put our stamp of approval on everything crypto. Nobody's done that. Nobody's taken such a strong position. And he said, watch this, that he's going to fire Gary Gensler, the freaking crazy man behind the SEC that tries to take down everything crypto. And now watch this, guys. Nobody saw this coming, literally, even a few weeks ago. He's just started the pro-crypto rhetoric. I mean, hardcore, I have to say. There was glimpses in there, but you just weren't quite sure where he really stood at the end of the day. But then it became so intense, so fierce, and like to the point where he said he's going to fire specifically the number one public enemy of XRP. And now we see BTC breaking all-time highs, which is exactly what I said yesterday would take place if he got elected. And then boom, less than 24 hours, here we are, and it's breaking out. Broke 3 all-time records today. Created a new one, then a new one, then a new one. You can see it hit the previous resistance level, and which is now the support level, because it's hit it 3 times. And so now it's acting as a support. That's how this stuff works. And hit it 3 times and came back up. And then I'm telling you, it is so beautiful what's taking place. Now, what does that mean? It means that Bitcoin season is followed by altcoin season. And as Bitcoin rises, the altcoins are the little baby brother and sister that play catch up. But when they play catch up, what happens? Well, when Bitcoin grows by like 5%, which crazily enough, it went 9% last night, guys. It was stupid. And now as that 24-hour time window progresses and moves further, that percentage that it grew will continue to shrink, because the spike happened back here, right? So if you're looking up the 24-hour, then, however, watch this. So this is really a great sign. So then what happens is all the altcoins begin to go, with Bitcoin goes up, let's say 5%, just randomly. Bitcoin goes up 5%. Altcoins normally maneuver more than that, right? Between 12 and 20 random numbers. Some of them 100%. Like, it's just crazy how altcoins maneuver in response. People who understand trading understand this. But if you're an amateur, then take it for what it's worth. It's just the concept. And then you understand how, as an amateur, you don't necessarily want to buy Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is just the one that grows in volatility. I'm not saying you don't want to buy Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has also proven, I believe in diversification too. And it has proven the sustainability factor. It has proven the longevity, the life, health, etc. However, altcoins, guys, I see the comments, all the different coins. Trust me, I get it. I've been following the prophets that have been naming a lot of these coins, and even XRP. However, watch this. Watch me very closely. God gave me a dream. And I told you guys, he was prepping me all through the year, because I was in Forex and I was trading on these bots that I had been offering my community, which is pretty cool that you can actually use a bot to do trading for you. It's incredible. I was winning big. I was sharing this with my community. They were winning big. It was pretty incredible. Then we were involved in other strategies where you could plug into all these different things. However, these bots were pretty cool because I would actually see in my dreams and with the trader that was trading the live account, all these different things. I was getting these dreams where God was prepping me for this XRP breakout that I believe we're about to see. Everything through the lens of my disclaimer, guys. I have to pull this up for everybody's to know, right? Because why? It is up to you to test my dream, whether it's from God, from me, or from the Chinese food I had for dinner that night. That's my disclaimer, guys. It's up to you to step out according to your faith and and your risk capital and all these different things. However, God had been preparing me because I was having these dreams. I had never had dreams about the market before. And I was in my dream, I would see the number of where the account was going to be. And it started as a kind of a personal thing. And I started sharing it with just a couple of my ministry friends that were involved in some of these opportunities with me where we were, earning on these accounts. And so I said to them, like, hey guys, just want to share with you, I had this dream and this is what I saw in my dream. And I just wanted to throw it out there. This is how it started. And then it would hit the next day, like exactly the number. And I'm just like, what'd you think about that? Right. And they're like, yeah, that's pretty good. I said, yeah, it's pretty good. And then next thing you know, I started to open it up to this other community of people in this other group that had, I don't know, 20, 30 people in it. And these are not even Christians. This is a group made up of all sorts of people that probably don't even believe in God, some of them. And I'm like, hey guys, watch this. And it was just fun. It was exciting. It was an adventure. And it was accurate every single time. And when I would share them and they would come to pass exactly to the number, and I'm talking like far stretches, guys, real stretches, going from one extreme to the other to have to hit that number. And it did. And then I would say in the group, like, what you guys think about that? And I would like kind of throw some teaching in there as a minister to try to help these people, understand what was taking place, why it was taking place, and to know that even as the scripture says, we see in part, we know in part, we prophesy in part. So you're not going to see the full picture either. So it doesn't mean also that you can't have some bumps or even some losses, which we actually ended up having eventually after we won big. It was pretty incredible. However, that's what led me to this dream. I had a big loss one day where my account got taken because it did what they call blue. And however, I had made way more than that, so I was happy. However, we were kind of living off of those funds. And I told my wife that day, I said, the temptation that people have in this position is to try to double down, increase your risk level, and then you lose more. And I said, I know not to do that. I said, however, I said, if God gave me a dream like he's been giving me, because she was tracking all this stuff. She's my wife. Hello. And then I had ministry that night. And so I was like totally in another position because when I get in that flow, I am not thinking about anything else. And we had a great service and I went to bed. And again, I went to bed with that on my mind, ministry, not anything else. And then all of a sudden, and remember, I was in the Forex markets. So even if it was the Chinese food that I had for dinner that night, figure of speech, right? My thoughts are it would have been relevant to what was on my mind on a daily basis. And so, next thing you know, this guy comes up to me in my dream. I'm at a church event at a buddy of mine's church, and this guy walks up to me and he says, "Can I pray for you?" And I said, "Sure." And as he began to pray, he started to prophesy. And he says, "This is going to happen. This is going to happen. This is going to happen." And I was just like, and I've never had a dream like that before. I've had prophetic dreams. I told you, just got done telling you some of the ones that I had. I've had other dreams about other things, that I've even done teachings on this stuff. But I never had dreams about the market, and I believe God used that to prepare me, to get me to trust in this. And then at the same time, I've just never had a dream so stinking vivid. And and one of the things that I will add to that is that it was very clear, vivid, bright. Everything was just so clear, like crystal clear in that dream. It was amazing. And he gave me this prophetic word, and I've shared the prophetic dream. And I've been tracking it ever since. And I've been doing my best to continue to demonstrate my faith in the process in order to share with you all what's possibly on the table here. And so, yeah, watch this, guys. So then you go through all these little hurdles, such as the SEC appeal. And you're like, dang, didn't see that coming. Didn't expect that to come. But then you remember when you shared the dream on day one, how interestingly enough that you also shared the similar situation of when you stepped out in faith on a word from God about the miracle house, and how the market, remember that word, and how the market went the wrong direction to favor the direction you were headed. But in the midst of it going the wrong direction, it still came to pass against all odds. We just saw this take place in our country. And I believe we're getting ready to see this take place with XRP. That being said, guys, also with the Bitcoin doubler, as I call it, and all the information's below, guys. If you're on YouTube, it's above it. If you're on Facebook, but the Bitcoin doubler. And please remember, guys, if you comment on my stuff on this when I'm streaming like this, you got to know if I'm not seeing your comments, it's because of this right here. It's because you never went to StreamYard.com and /Facebook and connected your Facebook. Everybody on YouTube always, it's like their rights or whatever integrate with StreamYard just fine. Facebook, for whatever reason, is like the negative Nancy. It's like the Karen of social media. And so that's what takes place. Now, why is the Bitcoin doubler what I believe to be a great opportunity? Because check this out. He's projected that the average of what he will generate is about 10% a month on your BTC. And he trades the altcoins with your BTC. And then what ends up taking place is in, let's say figuratively 10 months from now, you have double your BTC. And then it's already in the middle of the beginning of the bull run. So potentially it's already going to theoretically double in price anyway. So you have the potential of, quadrupling. You understand potential. Nothing is what I'm saying is any sort of guarantee. I'm just telling you the probability. And he explains it as the risk, that the only risk is Bitcoin going to zero. And the reason is because you will always hold the value of the coin. And so as long as Bitcoin doesn't drop to zero, which it never has, I don't think it ever would. It will be volatile. It will go up and it will go down, even in the middle of a bull run, by the way. It'll still go up and down. It's just that its ups will be more pressurized than its dips. And that's just all part of it. People who understand the markets, they know what I'm talking about. But guys, that's the end of it today. I just wanted to get on here and say that I shared the prophetic word, the dream that I had. I also shared the prophetic word from a prophet that I follow that is very accurate. He's also stating what other prophets are stating, that the stock market and crypto are both about to explode. I mean, shoot up. However, there is also prophetic words that the stock market is then going to crash, and that Bitcoin is going to, or crypto is going to stand on its own 2 feet and actually soar, and the US dollar is going to crash. What do we do with all of this? That's why I'm sharing what I'm sharing. Because if I have the potential to share information that could potentially feed families in the future, you better believe I'm going to do it. That's it. And, and I don't know if you guys follow the prophets that are speaking these things corporately, but they're all saying the same thing. Prophet Brandon Biggs, Prophet Tomi Ariomi, Prophet Charlie Shamp, Apostle Joshua Giles. All of these people are, Apostle Giles was on Sid Roth a few years ago. He wrote a book on the next 10 years, much of which is coming to pass to date. Prophet Charlie Shamp shared a few years ago that Donald Trump would absolutely be elected for a second term, and that Pennsylvania would be a huge role in that. And if you notice, that was the second to the last electoral decision that won him the presidency. And they have, I believe, a large number of votes compared to, etc. Just so many things. Charlie Shamp prophesied Kamala Harris would be used to trump President Trump in the 2020 election, and that the plans would fail. And in the end, her political career would be crushed as a result of them trying to use her to trump Trump, and that her political career would hang in the balance. And I mean, it was a powerful word. And this was, watch this, this was before she was even a nominee for vice president the first time, 2020. This was before she was even a nominee, before she was ever a blip on the radar, before anybody knew. He said, I see a star rising in the West. And a dark-skinned woman by the name of Kamala Harris. And God says that, and man, come on, man. At what point, and I'm saying this for the skeptics, I'm saying this for the unbelievers, I'm saying this even for the Christians who don't even understand prophecy or believe in it. I don't care. It is what it is. Suck it up, buttercup. That's the type of evidence that I believe must put somebody in their place to at least consider that. Really? That's pretty freaking good, man. He did what? Like, where's the evidence? Look him up. It's all over his website. He's posted on Facebook. So many prophetic words that have come to pass, guys. And he's just one of many that I follow. So take it for what it's worth, guys. I'm just giving you the information because, I never stopped loving digital currency. I never stopped, let me change the word, appreciating the modern day gold rush that's on the table right now. That's what I'm really trying to say. I never stopped appreciating and because I just see so much potential. But they have to be legitimate opportunities. I used to, juggle high risk stuff. I just can't participate in that stuff anymore. But at the same time, what's on the table right now could potentially like really increase people's, financial standing. I have to say presumably, guys, because it's all through the lens of my disclaimer. I'll tell you what I believe, but I can't tell you anything's guaranteed. All right. That being said, guys, the information's below. Seriously, the crypto trading course that I also am a member of, that I still pay every month because I love it and it's so inexpensive. And it's helped me to understand the charts, even the resistance and support levels that I talked about earlier. I learned all that through this course. So thankful. And anybody can learn it, and everybody needs to understand this stuff. That being said, guys, appreciate you watching. Take care. God bless.